NBA prize picks for Wednesday, January 8th. I'm Sniper from DFS Army. We got 5 plays on the prize picks streak play board to go through. Going to make picks for all of them. Pick a favorite. Hopefully run our streak to 3 in a row, as we did hit Alex Sarr yesterday. Had a terrible game. Crowd goes over. We go under. We cash that. In the DFS Army Discord, it was a huge day. Over 2 units of profit yesterday. Just in the new year, about 8 units of profit. You want to join that? Link in my bio or in the description on YouTube if that's where you're watching. But for now, guys, I'll hit the intro. If you already didn't hit the like button, do it now, and we'll get to work. All right, let's first talk about the current odds leader for NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Going to head on over to the DFS Army Proptimizer, which I didn't actually quite queue up before the video, but a couple clicks, I'm signed in. And this tool lets you compare prize pick line, sportsbook odds, and our projection model, other research as well, to let you find those plus EV plays, points, rebounds, and assists. Now that I've searched for Shai, as you can see, odds value lean towards the over. 43.5 line, minus 120. All these are about pick'em. Somebody in the comments yesterday asked, why don't I put the best plays on the board? Well, I live in New York. That is a not pay to play state for prize picks. This is the game I have access to. These are the plays I have to break down. The tool, though, has all the plays available. You can find your favorites, use the research, make some plays. And in the Discord, we got plays for prize picks, underdog, sleeper, sportsbook bets, everything you could want, no matter what state you live in, as long as you have access to some kind of sportsbook or game. So minus 120, about our odds value here, just slightly leaning towards the over. Form looks pretty good. He's been over in 4 of the last 5 and 7 of the last 10. Projection model, more important than form, 44.64 on the model. So we are picking him to go over. Let's go take a look at the DVP matchup here against Cleveland. Go to hashtag basketball, free DVP site. Always like to shout them out. Go to point guard. Looking at Cleveland here. Cleveland, decent matchup. Cleveland allows, looks like about the 11th most points per game to the point guard position. So about the top third of the league. It's like they're pretty good defending in terms of rebounds. Top 5 defensive wise. So that's the other end of the spectrum. And middle of the league, one of the better defenses in terms of rebounds and assists against the point guard position. So the matchup here is not fantastic. Form is good, projection good, odds lean towards the over. Kind of putting all those factors together, I would lean towards the over here. Don't think it's a slam dunk play, but at least we picked a bunch of unders yesterday. We did cash one of them, a couple of them actually. But I would lean towards the more for Gilgeous-Alexander. But let's look and see if we can get a better play for the streak play game. Donovan Mitchell, 22.5 points is the next line we're going to be looking at. Really easy to switch everything over on the Proptimizer, as long as your fingers don't lean on the key. Donovan Mitchell, looking for the points line here. It's like it's shading ever so slightly towards the under. Again, pretty much a pick 'em. Sugar House has it at minus 130 towards the under. That's some decent odds value. He's been under in back-to-back games. Looks like he's been under in 6 of the last 10 games. So the form leans under. The odds lean under. The projection also leans under, projecting him at 22.29 points. Let's take a look at the matchup against OKC as we switch over to the shooting guard position. And OKC, number 1 defense in terms of points per game allowed to the shooting guard position. Definitely have to lean under here. And everything actually points that way. Don't think there's any injury news on the Cleveland side. I think Okoro is out, but everything else, I don't know how much impact that's really going to have. Garland, Mobley, Allen, all still in. I would definitely take the less than here. It's a matter of where we're going to rank this play at the end of the day. Let's go Jaylen Williams. 20.5 points. Looks like people were taking on this game early. Jaylen Williams, 20.5 points. Let's go to the Proptimizer, see what we can dig up here. Jaylen Williams, 20.5 points. It looks like, again, everything's leaning towards the under quite a bit here. A lot of books have this lined at 19.5. The 20.5 books, minus 120. There, so we're set lower. He's been under in 5 straight games, under in 9 of the last 10. Definitely all leaning towards the under here. Projection model agrees with the under 20.32, just a shade under. Be interested in the DVP matchup here against Cleveland as we go to the power forward position. It looks like Cleveland, just sort by points. It's a good, not a word, good-ish matchup. 11th most points allowed to the power forward position. So that's the only thing pointing towards the over. Everything else shades towards the under, and it's not a great matchup. I'm going to go with everything else and go towards the less. But again, not like the Mitchell play where everything pointed towards the less. But again, 2 less than plays. I don't mind going against the grain. We cash when it happens plenty, including yesterday. So let's just keep moving on and see if we can find more good plays. Although right now, the Donovan Mitchell less than play is a decent look. Darius Garland, 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Back to the Proptimizer to get us started. Again, you want access to this tool? Check the link in my bio or in the description of YouTube. Works either way. Points, rebounds, and assists. 28.5. We're leaning towards the more here. Looks like minus 120. One book has it at 29.5, just shading towards the over in terms of odds value. 29.38 on the projection model, so we're projecting him over. He's been over in 5 straight games, over in 8 of the last 10. For those of you who like the trend charts, you will be happy with this one. So everything lining up so far. Let's go look at the DVP matchup here against OKC. I don't know why OKC escaped my brain for a second. But again, difficult matchup. They allow the least top defense in the league points per game against the point guard position. So they are up there in terms of rebounds, 5th most in terms of rebounds, and then good again in terms of assists. So good in points and assists, shoddy in rebounds. Everything else point towards the more it is. And he's clearing it by getting just over the number. I'm going to lean on the projection model for this one. Not a confident play because it is a tough matchup, as we just saw in some of those DVP numbers. I would lean towards the more here, but not confidently at all. Last play to look through, and then we will rank them up. Zach LaVine, 25.5 points. Back to the Proptimizer for the final time this morning. Points here. Odds value leaning towards the under, minus 120 on DraftKings, ESPN Bet, minus 125 on Bet Parks, Bet Rivers. So just shaded that way. Projection models under at 24.12. He's been over in 6 of the last 10, though. Let's take a look at the matchup here against Indiana as we go to the small forward position. Indiana, middle of the road matchup. Right here, allowing 21.4 points per game to the small forward position. I think I would lean towards the less than here. Despite this trend, I'm going to go with the odds and projection. Mediocre matchup, I would go less than. So plenty of less thans mixed in today. Least confident play. I already forgot where I landed on a couple of these as we rolled through it so quick today. Ranking them up, I would probably say my least favorite play on the board would be the Zach LaVine play we just covered. Not super interested in that, going kind of against the grain medium matchup. The Zach LaVine play probably going to go ahead and just toss out. Focus on this Donovan Mitchell on the Cleveland Cavalier OKC game. The Darius Garland play went back and forth too. It's probably my fourth favorite play. I'd focus on the first 3. Jaylen Williams play, third favorite. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 43.5 PRA. Would lean more there. It's probably the second favorite play, but the play where everything lined up and it's a less than. People are going to hate it, but we did that yesterday. I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell, less than 22.5 points. Going to try to get a second straight day of a less than pick hitting. This is where I would go with the favorite. Again, you want access to all the tools you saw, more picks, including the run we are on over at DFS Army. There's the tracker, link in the bio or in the description on YouTube. One last time, got to remind you that whether or not you are a DFS Army member, you probably should be. But either way, good luck on those contests. Let's cash this ticket, and I'll see you next time.